Hi, today we are looking at section 3.2, which is the sine law. So what we essentially did with those last sets of notes was figure out our side angle relationships, which gives us our sine law. So our whole law when we're in together is A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C, where essentially our corresponding letters are opposite each other. So if we have an angle that's capital A, its opposite side is lowercase a. This angle is capital B, its opposite side is lowercase b. Capital C, opposite is lowercase c. Now, this form I would typically use for solving for a side because our side lengths are in our numerator, so it's not too hard to rearrange to get a side on its own. We can also write this formula another way, which is with our sine functions in our numerator over our side lengths. Now, this would be a form I would utilize if I'm solving for an angle. Okay, so to use sine law, we need two sides in the angle opposite a known side. So, for example, if we have, say, this triangle, if we have, say, this side and this side, as long as we have the angle opposite one of those sides, so for example, this one, we can then solve for the angle opposite this side. So essentially, we need two sides in that angle opposite one of our known sides, or we need two angles on any side. Because theoretically, if we have two angles, we should have all three, because we know angles in a triangle add up to 180. So we can, if we have two angles, we automatically also know the third one, and then we just need one side, and then we can solve for any side in a triangle. So we'll do some examples now. So find side length B. So first thing I would do is label my sides, because this triangle only has the angles labeled. So opposite capital A is lowercase a, opposite capital C is lowercase c, opposite capital B is lowercase b. So we're solving for this side here. So starting to write out our equation, we know we're solving for b, so I'll start with that. So I've got lowercase b over sine of angle b is equal to, and then we have to choose whether we're using A or C. Currently, A, we just have our angle. We don't have the side with it. C, we have our side, but not our angle. However, because we're given two other angles, we can solve for this angle here, which gives us both our angle and our side for C, so we can utilize C. So we have equals C over sine of angle C. Now to solve for angle C, we know that angles in a triangle must add up to 180. So we have 180 is equal to angle C plus 118 plus 22. We'll subtract 118 as well as 22 from both sides. And that gives us 40 degrees is angle C. Okay, so now that we have that, we'll rearrange this equation to get side length B on its own. To do so, we'll move the sine B to the other side by multiplying both sides by sine of B. So that gives us side length B is equal to side length C sine of angle B over sine of C. And at this point, substitute our values in. So we have side length C, which is 24, sine of angle B, which is 22, divided by sine of C, which is 40. And that should give us 14. Next example, we want to find all angles. We have one angle, its opposite side, so we can use sine law. And we've got two other sides. So it doesn't matter which angle we solve for first. I might solve for angle B first. Now, because we're solving for an angle, I'd start with the equation as sine in the numerator. So sine B over B equals, we have our values for A. So use sine of A over A. Now we want to get sine B on its own, so we'll multiply both sides by B. So that gives us sine of B is equal to side length B, sine of angle A over side length A. So that gives us sine of B is equal to 16.1, sine of 88 divided by side length A, which is 26. So that gives us sine of B is equal to 0.6189. Now we want to get B on its own, so we'll take arc sine of this value. So we have B equals sine -1 of 0.6189. And that gives us angle B is 38 degrees. Now, we know angles in a triangle must add up to 180, so we'll use that to get angle C. So we know 180 is equal to angle C plus 88 plus 38. So we'll subtract 88 and 38 from both sides. And that gives us 54 degrees is angle C. So we have now solved for all angles.